I'm interested in how flexible a term like African art can be. I'm interested in how open that term can be and how it's both something of a trap in a way, because it suggests that all African art can be gathered together, but also, I think, an invitation to start to interrogate what we've looked at and what we've thought we understood about Africa itself. I think one of the things that's exciting to me about being in Venice, thinking about African art, thinking about art in general, is that it forces me, forces us possibly, to think harder and think further about what we mean when we say Africa, when we think about blackness, when we think about people of colour in the diaspora. It forces us to interrogate all the historical baggage that the West has brought to Africa, all the ways the West has imposed a narrative and a set of imagery on Africa.
Being at the Venice Biennale is very important because it's a major meeting place for art professionals, and particularly when you're working in the field of contemporary African art. Venice is a place where we've had to fight to be able to be visible here. Particularly curators like Oku and Weather, who passed away in March, was one of the driving force behind the first African pavilion in Venice. So being here at this Africa in Venice Forum is also very emotional because it brings back to the history of the African presence, but it also shows what the young generation of African curators and the allies of African curators and artists also want to sort of pursue and continue for Africa to have continue having a presence in Venice.
I think if there is something that one could wish for a healthy, productive art scene, is that it won't mirror Western models, that it will look at the context in order to engage in ways in which art can be presented in our own terms, and that will allow for local aesthetics to flourish, to produce work of artists that are responding to that necessity, that will provide with tools for engagement that will still be uncertain and inventive, and that will fulfill the need of an artistic expression that will continue to be fundamental for the local, but still relevant internationally.
Because I was part of the African Pavilion in 2007, I feel like it's good to know that there being like kind of more national representation than it was at that time. Important like to make people from now and for once at all, like the many particularities on the African creation.